Hey everybody. Before we get into today's video, I wanted to kind of reach out to everybody and say we had some really rough weather come through my home state of Kentucky this past weekend. It was unfortunately deadly. A lot of people did lose their lives, and one of the tornadoes that we had did hit my hometown. So that's why it's been a little bit since I've gotten a video out. Having said all that, my thoughts and prayers do go to those people. It's really hard to face what they're facing. So, having said that, today's video is going to be about understanding your hero card. We are going to go into what all of the stuff that you're going to see on your hero card is, what it means, and hopefully this really helps break down what you're going to find when you're looking at a specific hero, because I remember it was a little daunting when I first started to understand what that information meant and how I could apply it to my hero. So hope you guys enjoy. As always, be sure to leave some comments. Let me know what's going on. If you have some requests for different videos or things you'd like to be broken down a little more, please leave that in the comment section. I'd love to hear back from you guys. Thanks. Okay, so for today's video, we are going to work on Philip. We're going to look at his hero card, which was chosen completely at random. And we're going to talk about what all you're seeing here whenever you look at your hero. So you can see this is Philip. He's in the middle. If you touch the middle of the screen, it'll show you his full body. Isn't that so exciting? There's some really cool looking heroes in this game, so I have definitely viewed a few that way. We're going to start at the very top, and we're going to work our way down at what everything means. So the very top, the first thing is level 1. So he is brand new. I haven't leveled him at all. He's level 1, 3-star. And then next to that is going to be his power. That is 5078, and that's basically everything that you're going to see down at the bottom, what his power is with all of his stats. Over on the right hand side, you can see it has him as a rare, which means that that's his ranking in the game. Any hero you have, you can take up to a 6-star. So, and the verbiage is for heroes themselves. You have common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. So there are 5 different levels as far as that goes. And each of them does have their own color. Now, rare is blue, so you can see where it says rare, and then that is in blue. And just to show you, I'm going to come down to Isata, who has green that says uncommon. So, common heroes are gray, uncommon are green, rares are blue, epics are pink, and legendary are yellow. Under that, it's going to have his class and what type of hero he is. So he is a tank, and he's a bruiser. We're going to go over that in a separate video. It is a lot of information to take in, but it's basically defining how this hero works in conjunction with other heroes or against an opponent. Now we're going to come down. You can see his main picture is in the middle, and then it's going to have the fact that he is green. So when you look at other heroes, you can see what color they are. He is green. Let me show you. Tovik is yellow. You can see because of the circle behind him, and then they have the hero families, but each one is going to have their own color. So you can look and see that he's yellow, and then Philip is green. He has all the different his green accents, I guess you could call them. So it is pretty easy to understand who is what color. So for him, he is green. And then on the sides, you're going to see empty slots for artifacts. Now, if you click on one of those, it's going to bring you to your artifacts, so you can go through and put those artifacts on him. Now, there are 6 different types you can see. So there's the sword, helmet, shield, not sword, goodness, weapon, and then gloves, chest piece, and boots. And so there are 6 different types of artifacts that you can go through to put on your hero. There are many, many good videos out there. I have a couple that might be beneficial for you guys, but artifacts are super important, and that is for another day. And that's going to have his name in the middle, and underneath that you're going to see what star level he is. So Philip is a 3-star right now. You can see because of the gold stars that are available. And then on the right hand side you can see that there are 3 grayed out. We can take him all the way up to a 6-star. Next to that, you're going to see a lock. So right now he is unlocked, and if you click on that, it'll show that he is now locked. Epics and legendaries, when you first pull them from the altar, they are going to automatically be locked, but rares, uncommons, and commons are all unlocked. So if there is a rare or below hero that you want to keep, I would highly recommend locking them as soon as you get them, so that you don't accidentally use them as a cauldron for another hero. Then underneath the stars, you're going to see level. So Philip is 1 out of 30, and then it's going to show how many points, how many experience points that we will need to go up to the next level. So he's at 0 out of 748. We would need 748 hero experience points to get him to the next level, which would take him up to a level 2. When they're a 3-star, he can go up to a 30, and then 4-star is up to 40, or level 40, and then 5-star is 50, and then 6-star is 60. So in order to have a fully maxed leveled hero, you're going to need to go to 60 out of 60, is how that will end up as you level through. Now then you see something that says total stats, and there's a little eye icon next to that. If you press that, it's going to bring up total stats and then what you're getting in addition to those stats with your artifacts, cabinet, and awakening. Each hero has base stats, and those you can see are all the way to the left, and that is what they start with whenever you first start leveling them. As you get a hero leveling up, those base stats increase. So as you level a hero, they do get better. You're not just going to have these sad base stats forever. Then there's the artifact column, which is any artifacts you put on your hero and what they boost as far as those stats go. And then you have your cabinet, which is the arena cabinet where you put your medals in at the end of the week. And then there is awakening, which we'll go over here in just a second. And then all the way on the right is the total column, and that's going to add all the way across what the total amount you have for that particular stat. Below that, it's going to have 9 different categories of stats and what those are. It'll have your base amount, and then it's going to have what has been added with all of your other stuff. So like you can see for HP, which is health point, he has 2904, and then next to that it says 145. I do have already in the arena cabinet, I do have some of my medals allocated out, so that is what that's coming from. But as you add artifacts and awakening, that number will change. And if you click down there, it'll give you the total, and you can unclick it and see the base versus what you have added to it. We're going to go through each one of these here in just a second, and we're going to talk about what they all are. I just wanted to give the basics of what is on your hero card and where you're going to find things. So if you go down just a little bit, you're going to see a leader ability, which is also shown. If we go back here, you're going to see Philip is right here in the middle. You're going to see a crown, a red crown in the corner. That means that they have a leader ability. Now his leader ability is a speed lead. He is going to increase the speed of all allies by 9 in all game modes. It's really important to look at the different leaders that you have available, and not every hero is going to, or I'm sorry, not every leader is going to be the same. So some are very specific to different areas of the game. For instance, Guinevere is a Rift speed leader. Her ability, the leader ability, only is going to benefit you if you are in a Rift. So make sure you pay attention to where and what that leader ability is, because they don't all apply to different places in the game. But this one, it does say in all game modes, so that does mean that across the board that is going to be available. And then next to that, you're going to have your special ability and then your passive ability. And it's going to have what it's called, what level you are at, which you can see other levels. Let me go to the main one. Come on. You're going to have where it goes all the way up to a 10. And then it'll have what the ability is. And then if you come over here to upgrade, you would be able to upgrade those special abilities to whatever level. Now, as you're applying tomes or duplicate heroes here, which a duplicate hero is either Philip himself or another hero in his family. So there are 5 different colors. Each of the families are going to have 5 heroes, all with different abilities, but there's, red, green, blue, yellow, and purple in each of the family. You can apply any of those that are in Philip's family as a tome, like a fake tome, or you can apply the actual books down at the bottom, which are the tome books. And those you get from special loot, usually for events that you complete. But when you apply those, you can't choose whether it goes to their passive or their main ability. So whenever you do apply it, it's going to apply those at random. So sometimes you're going to see that the passive ability gets maxed before their main ability. But it is a lot cheaper to up those levels of your special skills on a rare or an epic as opposed to a legendary. Rares and epics, you can use people in their same family. When you get to a legendary, you can only use the actual physical tome itself or the same hero. So you have to have a duplicate hero in order to use them as that. And then the next one over is going to be Awake. Now when you go to that, which I do have another video on Awakening and kind of what all this means, but essentially you can increase their base stats by a certain percentage. If you click this little eye up here, it's going to show you what different levels are specific to Philip himself. And for rares, you're going to see where that third one increases. For epics, it's going to be the 4th tier. And then for legendaries, it's the 5th and 6th. So it's always the 6th, and then you have the additional tier where it says health point and then health point. That's the main stat increase as far as his awakening goes. And again, I do have a video on that as well, so I'm not going to go into super detail. And then you have your equipment button here. It's going to bring you to that artifact screen again. So you can get to artifacts either by clicking equipment or clicking one of the blank slots that you have available there. So now let's go back and we're going to talk about the different stats and what they actually mean. The first one is HP. Over here where you see this little heart, it's HP. That means health points, and that is determining how much health a hero has and how much damage they can take before they die. It's pretty standard. The next one down is ATK, which stands for attack. And this is the amount of damage dealt by this hero by connecting gemstones. And then next down is going to be DEF, or defense. And this is determining how much the damage is reduced before it is dealt to your hero. So when an opponent hits you, your defense reduces that by a certain amount, and then you get dealt the remaining of the attack. We're going to come up here where it says SPD. That stands for speed. And then this decides the order in which a hero will have a turn. So when you're in anything, whether it's a raid boss hit or you're in a rift, up at the top you're going to see on the left hand side there's going to be an order in which the heroes have a turn. When your speed is higher, you get more turns as far as being able to match your gemstones. So that is determined by the speed. The higher your speed, the more often you're going to get that turn. Resistance is RES, and that is basically going to lower the accuracy of the opponent as far as when they're firing a negative status towards you. So resistance is important for sure, especially if you're going up against some opponents that are going to be able to try to fire a lot of negative status effects onto your hero. So resistance is going to lower that chance for those to land. Accuracy is going to work in the opposite direction. So resistance is what is coming towards you. Accuracy is what is going away from you. So with the accuracy, it depends on the opponent's resistance as far as what chance you have of applying a negative status. So accuracy is basically resistance minus accuracy, and that gives you the chance of what you're going to apply for a negative status. So with a hero that has a lot of negative status abilities, like a Gladiosa who, someone who does a lot of negative statuses towards the opponent, you're going to want to have a really high accuracy there, because it's essentially your opponent's resistance minus your accuracy gives you the real chance of what you're going to apply. Next we have crit rate. And crit rate determines the amount the probability of landing a critical hit in a battle. The maximum for that is going to be 100%. So 100 is every hit you have is going to land a critical hit. And then your critical damage is how much additional damage you will inflict with your critical hit. So crit rate, 100% is really as high as you can go, or it is really going to matter. Your critical damage, you can make that as high as you want. And that's just going to be more damage that you are applying to that opponent. Now, your mana gain is the amount of mana generated by connecting gemstones. So each hero has a mana bar. Once you hit 100, that is going to mean that you are able to use your special ability. So the hero gains mana during allies' turns as well as their own turns, and there's some information as far as how that is going to change whenever you're stacking several heroes of the same. So there's a lot to that, but basically, the higher your mana gain, the less amount of gemstones you're going to need for your special to be available to use. So sometimes that can get confusing with speed and then mana gain. So speed is how often your hero will have a turn, and then your mana gain is how many tiles or gems you're going to have to match before that special is able to go off. So that's pretty much everything that we are going to need to know about what your hero card is. I know there's a whole lot that you look at. I remember when I first started playing being like, what in the world is all of this and what does it mean? So hopefully this did break it down a little bit and make it easier to understand what your hero abilities are, what you're going to see whenever you look at your hero card, how you can find the information you need. And then if you go back to just the main hero page, if you go up all the way to the top, it's going to have heroes and then how many I have out of my total available. But if you hit that eye icon, the information icon, it's going to bring up a lot of information that you are going to need to know or that's really beneficial. Different roles and classes and what those do. You're going to see the same breakdown of stats and then the special abilities, all this good stuff. So it's always there if you ever need to go back and look at it. And I know I'm a very visual person, so reading things is beneficial for me. But I do hope that this broke things down to make your hero card a little bit easier to understand. So that is all that I have for today. I hope you all have a fantastic day or night or whatever it is where you are as you watch this. And I will talk to you all soon. Thank you very much.